An Arizona Lotus Corporation radio station. Stream us on your cell, laptop, desktop, or tablet at KFMA.com. You want it? You got it. Reality radio done right. No nonsense, real and raw, just like you like it.
He's corrupt, he's inexperienced, and he lies.
Broadcasting from a broom closet in the Arizona Lotus Studios, it's Beef Vegan Presents.
Yo, welcome back to the show. It's Beef Vegan Presents live from Rock 102.1 KFMA, streaming worldwide at KFMA.com on this beautiful Wednesday, April 3rd. Good morning, Weirdo.
Good morning.
And good morning, Tucson. Thank you guys for tuning into the show. Don't forget, we got tickets to give away for the Black Keys this week. We'll be giving away your opportunity for the Black Keys a little bit later on in the show. Just keep listening. Plus, I have a bonus pair of tickets for Dimitri Martin, who's going to be performing at the Fox Theater here soon. So I'll give away a pair of tickets for that this hour.
Nice.
So, yeah, if you're a fan of comedy, you're good. How are you feeling?
Doing all right.
Okay, good,
Yeah.
good.
Nice little 7-day weekend.
I know. Well, we took Monday off because I thought that we had a holiday, but we didn't. And then I just decided mentally I already had a holiday on that day, so I got to celebrate Easter for 2 days.
Exactly.
So yeah, and I did an Easter egg hunt too.
We did as well.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you did. You have young children. I have an 18-year-old daughter who still wanted me to get her an Easter basket. So me being the irresponsible father that I am, I waited until Easter morning, and then I wake up super early because I always wake up early, and I'm like, oh snap, I need to get an Easter basket. So I run to the grocery store, get the last basket available. Grab some candy bags, hoping that the jelly beans are vegan. Nothing was. I kind of failed on that. And then a bag of those plastic eggs and that had candy in it. And so essentially how I gifted it to my daughter, and this is again, makes me kind of like a terrible dad. And if I had a mom in my life or whatever, for her, then this is definitely what would take over. If my last girlfriend would have tricked it out to make a super basket.
That's what my girlfriend did. It was not only just the Easter egg baskets for the boys, but we also had a tray of just different candies for everybody.
Right.
Yeah. And then we did the Easter egg hunt, but we made the oldest have to pick up his egg with a ladle. Cause he's a little bit older. He's super competitive. And then later on, they went to a friend's Easter egg hunt, and they had so many eggs that my 10-year-old got tired out and was like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy God.
I'm eating eggs for the rest of the year.
Right,
so.
exactly.
Yeah. So exactly. So what I ended up doing is I just kind of gifted her this whole stuff in a fries bag, which wasn't great. But then I'm sitting around after she initially got her basket, and she's like, okay, I guess this is better than nothing kind of deal. I'm sitting around just kind of watching TV, and I'm like, oh, wait a second, I can hide those eggs and we'll make it fun. So then I ended up just hiding them around the condo. It's kind of a lame Easter, but memories, that's how memories are made. Yeah. All right, let's get into our top story. Our top story today is when you're at a certain level of success, even when you fail, you don't necessarily fail. When you make these announcements, here's what it's breaking down. The University of Arizona president, Dr. Robert C. Robbins, announced yesterday that he's going to be stepping down from his position, which could be good news, right? On the surface, it is.
Yeah.
Of course, U of A has lost over $177 million where they just don't know what happened to it. And then during this, everything's been kind of going to hell in a handbasket at the University of Arizona. And a lot of people speculate the reason why we lost Coach Jed Fish, the head coach for the football program, was because of the scandal that surrounds Dr. Robert C. Robbins. And they couldn't necessarily get a deal done in time. And then Washington swooped in, offered Jed Fish an offer he couldn't refuse, right?
Right.
So this and so many other things about U of A right now is kind of in turmoil. There's been a lot of layoffs. Again, money flow is an issue. And when you lose $177 million, that's a major F up.
Yeah.
Right. Now, it took him this long to essentially publicly take any kind of blame for this and suffer any kind of repercussions. So he's like, look, everybody, you're right. There was a major mistake under my watch. I'm going to take full responsibility. And because of that, I'm going to step down. And people are like, okay, good. You're going to step down. Nice. All right. I think that's the least you can do. If you're really that bad at your job, you lose $177 million. Your ass should have been fired. But since they're not firing you, thanks for stepping down. And he's like, yes, I'm going to step down at the end of my contract at the end of 2026. And you're like, whoa, wait a second. This
2 years from now.
It's not even 2 years from now. The problem is, it is 2 years from now, but the problem is, he wasn't going to be in the running for a contract renewal anyways. So you saying, don't worry, guys, I'm done after this run. It's like, yeah, no S, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we knew that. So, like, there could have been repercussions that could have dealt with before that. Now, he did take a 10% cut of pay, which is about $35,000 a year out of his bottom line, but he's making $350,000 a year, not counting the $177 million he mysteriously pocketed, allegedly. But this move comes after the school deals with the financial crisis, the $177 million shortfall, Governor Katie Hobbs previously criticizing Robbins, the university and the ABOR for what she called a lack of progress in dealing with the crisis. And last month, the Arizona Board of Regents, which is the ABOR, said that it would reduce Robbins' salary. So that's the repercussion it got. But beyond that, he just there was a press announcement, and he made this announcement, and all the press outlets ran with it and said, okay, there you go. Finally, he's just going to step down. And then you're like, okay, but you look at the details, you're like, at the end of his contract, when you knew he wasn't going to get, they're not going to offer him a job after this. Like, it's done.
Well, first of all, he went from $816,000 a year down to $734,000 a year.
Okay.
Like, that is so much money. And I get it. Like, right, you're the friggin' president of a major university, but like, that's insane. And he gets to just write out his contract.
Yeah.
So literally, like, what is that? 1.5 million basically he's going to get over the next 2 years. What a slap on the wrist.
I know. I see. Once you get to that level of success, then there are no real repercussions.
No.
So congratulations, Juve, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. What an announcement, though. Don't worry. Yeah. When my contract ends on the very last day, I will resign.
What an announcement of nothing.
I know. I know. And also at the end of the day, you think this guy's going to put in any work or effort to rectify any of the mistakes or try to make up for any of the problems that he created and caused during his tenure? Probably not. I mean, guy's going to be golfing a lot.
Could you imagine the forensics accountants that are out there just like chomping to be like, I'll figure this out. I got the math. I can do it.
Oh, good luck. I mean, there's been a lot of experts haven't figured it out so far. Right now, it still continues to be a mystery. 177 million just gone. And that's right here in our own backyard. Of course, that affects our local economy as well. So I guess 2026 can't come soon enough. All right, we got a great show lined up for you today. Your Morning Morons coming up after the latest from Foo Fighters. We'll kick things off with a little Rob Zombie. Here's Dragula on Rock 102.1 KFMA. You know the name of the show. Let's go. This is Under You on Rock 102.1. All right, we're back here live on the podcast broadcast. Yes, it's a heavy day for you, Aaron. Thoughts are with you as well. And please welcome Weirdo. Weirdo is doing her victory lap here for the next 2 weeks, and we'll have her last day on my radio anniversary, which I feel like she did on purpose.
Sure,
but yes,
it's all about you, Beef.
Well, that day it should be a big day, all the way around. That should be the day we have Kevin Smith, and I think we're gonna do our beard envy thing, but I haven't heard anything about it, and that's unfortunate. So we should be promoting it already. But yeah, we have a lot to cover. But congratulations on the position and the challenge that you have ahead. I have a meeting right after the show, which we'll probably talk about it. And then we'll see where we go from there. But I had encouraging words from Anthony this morning, which is good. And I'm feeling good. We had a great show so far. And we'll continue to do that. There will always be challenges when we have a company that is trying to stretch a dollar as far as they're trying to stretch a dollar and not pay anybody. Right. So I can't even blame you. The only blame that I put on Weirdo is that she dropped this bomb on me on Easter Sunday when I had nothing going on. So I got super stoned. And then so I was just way too high to deal with that type of emotion. Rock 102.1 KFMA. We're live on the podcast broadcast, and we got a lot coming up next, including bad news for those of you who have both iPhones and Samsung. I have a couple updates I got to give you just to help you out.
Okay.
But real quick, this headline it cracked me up because Jennifer Lopez announced that she's going on a nationwide tour, but she had to rename her tour because of low ticket sales. So the tour was called This Is Me, ... now. So she had to change it just so people would buy tickets to see her show. This is me, ... ass jiggling live in front of your face. Ticket sales shot up through the roof.
Oh,
so,
of course.
It's huge. So you can join us, youtube.com/bevegan, or keep it right here because we got more after new music from Linkin Park. It's Rock 102.1. Speaking of Linkin Park, did you guys hear Weirdo try to do Linkin Park this morning? It was fantastic. So, she broke news in music news, which we'll replay a little bit later because it was good, about Linkin Park potentially having a female lead singer.
Mm-hmm.
And so that made me wonder, what would Linkin Park sound like with a female lead singer? Luckily, I have one who is a female lead singer of Korn. Let's see if she can do female version of Linkin Park. And the short answer to that is she can't. But it was fantastic nonetheless. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear it, though, if I do play it. Let me ask you this. Can you hear this audio right here? So could you hear that? Let me know in the stream, just in case, because there's a good chance that you won't be able to hear that. So if you can hear that, we could do a quick little reaction. No, son of a biscuit.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm
all right.
so sad.
Oh, stop. You are not sad, but okay, let's see. Let's see if I could do this. Nope. Well, I got good news for you, because if I could share my Gmail, which I will, there's a bunch of things, and I could go to my sent, and bam, you could hear this, right? You got me thinking, Weirdo. In music news, you talked about the potential of Linkin Park adopting like a female lead singer to go along and perform along with Mike Shinoda, and Linkin Park with a female singer. I think. All right, so can you hear that? Can you hear that? So you let me know. Yes. Okay, good. All right. So in case you missed Weirdo singing Linkin Park, I'm going to help you out. Check this out.
Crawling in my skin. These wounds, they will not heal. Oh, fear is how I fall. Confusing what
Listen to it.
is real.
Something inside you. Oh, yeah. Okay. And now
Very
this is
nice.
the whisper part. That part was not that bad.
Okay.
Let me hear your whisper part. Let's see what you got.
There's something inside me that pours beneath the surface.
Penis.
Consuming, confusing.
She nailed it. So that was Weirdo.
No, I did not.
Yeah.
The
yeah,
pain
you
has
did.
been shared. Thanks, God.
Yeah. Chester actually rolled over or came back from the grave and then never mind. That's a terrible joke.
No.
Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. I just replayed a quick little clip of Weirdo showcasing what it would sound like if Linkin Park had a female lead singer, which apparently not that great. But I had goosebumps when that happened. Honestly, I mean, you look like a rock star. You look like a lead singer. So, I was very shocked to find out that you are not a lead singer.
No.
Yeah.
No.
All right. Were you ever in a band?
Not even a backup singer.
Were you ever in a band?
I was in band in high school. I played percussion.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So you never were tempted to be a musician or join a band? Because that is kind of surprising because you have that style.
No, I was tempted to continue playing drums. I can play full set drums.
Okay.
So, but never went anywhere.
Oh, let's see.
I had babies.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? I mean, and now that they're growing, you'll have the free time and stuff. So maybe you could always start a band. But either way, that's neither here nor there. Let's get to our big story today. There's a couple big stories as far as technology and your phones are concerned. Owners of iPhones are now being warned about a clever little push bombing scam that has been going around. Okay.
Push bombing.
Yeah. Now it's important that I mention these scams. I literally had a message sent to me on Instagram yesterday of somebody who's like, hey, did you message me saying I won money? So that's a fair warning. If you're hearing this for the first time, there is a Beef Vegan Show Facebook page that is a scam page that is an elaborate scam page. It's been around for 7 years and is now targeting our listeners on our Facebook page. So if you get any messages from this supposed page or from me in general saying you won money, just know that it is not real and do not fall for that, please. I will not give you money. All right. The only way that you're going to win anything is through this radio station while we're live. Nothing personal for sure. Anyways, back to this push bombing scam that's been going around. Hackers have been targeting a multi-factor authentication. See, sometimes I just can't read. Authenticate. See, maybe if I don't look at it, when you authentic, just a word I can't even get right now, dude.
Two-step verification?
Okay, no.
Okay.
All right. So when something's authentic and you need
authenticity?
No, okay, stop messing with me. All right.
I'm not. I'm literally trying to help you.
Okay, I know, but I don't like your help right now.
Okay.
I got this. All right. So it's going to be a 10-minute segment, me just trying to pronounce this word. It's a super simple word, too. That's the only thing that's really upsetting me and my self-esteem right now. Authenticization. Why am I so good?
Authenticated?
No, dude.
Nope,
you know
didn't
what?
get any better.
See, this is the problem with us, weirdo. We're kind of at the same grade level, which is
Really
super
are.
low, dude. Anyways, they've been targeting for multi-factor, authentication and to get into devices. The phishing attack will appear to be a bug in Apple's password reset feature, where dozens of notifications are pushed onto your home screen, telling you to reset your Apple password. So obviously, if this happens, you're going to be like, "Oh my God, I got to do this because my phone's all crazy." Now, the hackers want you to press "Don't allow," and then will then call you pretending to be Apple support to ask you to verify your account by sharing a one-time code with them. All right. Now, even though such codes being sent to you from Apple explicitly say don't share with anyone.
Yep.
So once inside, these hackers can lock you out of your phone and even remotely wipe out all your devices. So remember, Apple will never proactively call you in security incidents. So if you get a phone call from somebody claiming to be from Apple after your phone's on the fritz, just know that you're being targeted for an attack and a scam. Don't fall for it.
Yep.
Okay. Also, it's so crazy because this week we have all these issues with cell phones. So owners of Samsung smartphones are being urged to install the latest software security update ASAP. And the update's called ASAFP. So as soon as effing possible.
Yeah.
And the update reportedly fixes 27 issues that Samsung has deemed critical, common vulnerabilities and exposures, as well as another 17 that have been flagged. So Samsung says this update will improve their customers' confidence and security in Samsung mobile devices. So, whether you have like an Apple or an Android, it's time to check out your phone. These are some things you have to kind of cover your ass. Such a headache, right? Something that we felt like would make our life so much more convenient is such a bigger headache and more stressful.
No, I always complain about that. I was like, technology was supposed to make life easier, not harder.
I know. I mean, it's making us get to the point where we can't even pronounce simple words, weirdo. That's the cell phone's fault. 100% cell phone's fault. Thanks, Apple. We're going to hit the reset on the FM side. I'm going to learn how to read. We're going to come back with more after music from Tim Montana and Nirvana. You can join us on the YouTube stream at youtube.com/beefvegan. It's the podcast broadcast. There. Yeah, it's are you guys even still there? Yeah. Let's see. Authenticated. I'm
authentic. Nope.
No, see, you need to stop.
Okay.
Allow me to struggle with this because whenever you do it, it's like a giant step back for me. And I feel like when I'm trying to pronounce this, I'm sounding like Mike Tyson. Like I end up developing a lisp, so. Okay, never mind. You try it.
Authenticated? No.
See? I'm never gonna be able to pronounce that word.
Mother of God.
Yeah, no.
I feel like, because I used to pride myself on being able to like pronounce things and make sure that I have like the correct context and words and definitions.
Yes,
yeah.
and
And then I turned like friggin' 35 and it all went to hell.
yes, and for the record, hold on. Responding to Lindsay's comment, I do like Weirdo's help. I am sorry I was snapping at you on this. I was just so frustrated with myself that I could not pronounce a word that I felt like I had in my vernacular.
Authenticate.
No, but it's not authenticate because I could have done authenticate. There was a little more to authenticate. Authenticated.
I thought, yeah.
Authenticated.
Authenticated.
Let's see, authenticated.
My God, we could do like a whole hour of us just trying to pronounce bloody words.
No, but that's not good. That's not entertaining. People don't want to hear that. So authentication was the word I was trying to say. Hallelujah. Authentication. Now it's back in my vernacular. Authentication. All right. Well, while I say this word 100 times over, earlier this morning, we had a fantastic morning moron. In case you missed it, went a little something like this. KFMA, it's now 6:16 and time for your morning moron. Oh, this one's a doozy. Now, you've been through a divorce before. What did you do to celebrate your divorce?
I got a tattoo.
Okay,
yeah,
that's nice.
Yeah.
And probably responsible. You still have that tattoo?
I do. It says nullius in verba on the word of no one because he was a lying POS.
All right, that's good. See, that's what reasonable people do when they get a divorce. They turn a new leaf and then maybe start anew by celebrating that with a tattoo or, maybe a new purchase.
Mm-hmm.
Today's morning moron didn't do any of that. In fact, actually, he celebrated his freedom by getting his ass locked up, and probably for a while. He's a 26-year-old man named Craig Miller, and he's faced more than a dozen charges after he randomly fired multiple shots in the streets of downtown Nashville.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, our buddy Max Frost probably heard this guy popping off. Now, it happened early Monday. A witness said Craig was at the intersection waving a firearm around, shooting off rounds in different directions.
Yeah.
Now, that's
so smart.
On the surface, that alone makes you a morning moron, but it gets way worse because Craig was trying to double down and really showcase that in this divorce, the ex-wife is the winner. Hands down. So, like, at first, whenever I see a divorce, I get a little heartbroken for the couple. Like, oh, man, maybe counseling could have made it work out. And in this situation, like, oh, no, she should have ran a long time ago. The police showed up. They asked Craig what was going on. Initially, he denied shooting a gun, but later he admitted that he just divorced his wife and fired 8 rounds as a celebration of regaining his freedom. Now, that's confession. That'll be held against him for sure. But Craig wasn't just happy. It sounds like he was high at the time. And the gun turned out to be stolen. And he kicked an officer in the stomach while being taken into custody and threatened to kill them.
Wow.
Do I need to list any more reasons why Craig is today's morning moron?
So wait, hold on. He traded in the original ball and chain of the wife for a literal ball and chain.
Yep.
Good job, buddy.
Yeah, it doesn't look like, it looks like his wife's going to be rebounding, probably banging all types of randos. Meanwhile, Craig's going to be in jail, and his only options are just drop the soap. Jimmy, World of Rock 102.1 KFMA. You found some weird news on the internet?
I did.
All right, what do you got for me?
Well, we have the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile.
Yep.
Well, Planters is definitely digging in on the game as well.
Oh, yeah? How so?
Yeah. They are looking for 3 people to hire to drive around the Nutmobile.
Nutmobile? Ridiculous. That's what I used to call my 88 Nissan Maxima in high school. Classic. That Nutmobile saw some good times. Let me tell you, it had a moonroof and everything. Anyways, tell me about the Planters Nutmobile. All
right, so applications are now being accepted at beapeanutter.com. So that's what you would be called. If you get hired for this job, you're going to be a peanutter. It just gets worse and worse. And so, basically it's going to be going around the country for 1 year in the Nutmobile. The 3 people are being sought for the 1 year gig, and it's supposed to be fun, creative, carefree, and in search of life's next nutty adventure. Yes. Gotta live nutty. How much does your dignity cost? I don't know. How much is the salaries on this?
Does it Yeah, I mean, I know a few people in my personal life that would jump at the opportunity to be a peanutter.
I know particularly one.
Yeah, okay. I think we're thinking of the same person for sure.
Yeah.
He's a nutty buddy for sure. But okay, so that's available right now. So either you could drive around in a giant wiener or you could drive around in a nut. Your choice. Take your choice.
Yeah, but you need a bachelor's degree, by the way.
Of course you do.
You need a bachelor's degree, a valid driver's license, excellent written and verbal communication skills. You need some media experience as well. Because like this is going to include like being a grand marshal of parades, again, doing media interviews and entertaining up to millions and millions of people across the country.
Ridiculous. So, can you answer the same stupid questions over and over again?
Right.
And this job might be for you. Because honestly, like if we were to interview the peanutters, I could just imagine some of the stupid questions I could come up with for any of those nutty people.
Oh, we got to do this. We got to interview them.
They got to hire them first.
Right. Let's get them hired and then we're going to interview them. Oh, all the jokes. Oh, so many jokes.
Okay, get over it. What's the next story?
So there is in Albany, New York, they're having an issue of some smells that they're trying to figure out. And it's specifically flatulence and urine. Yeah. And they have no idea where it's coming from.
It smells like a fraternity row down here, U of A, right?
Yeah. So in the capital region since September, this foul odor has just been going around Albany and they have no idea where it's coming from, to the point that the Department of Environmental Conservation is going to try to solve this issue and they are investigating. Yeah,
I'm sure. So the people in Albany are looking around and be like, why do we smell like New Jersey? Gross. All right, what else you got in weird news?
Well, the sex toy game is very, very competitive. And right now there is two companies that are kind of going at war with each other because one is accusing the other one of bootlegging.
Really? Okay, so this is the thing. Now, bootleg used to be a big business during the time of prohibition for like moonshine and alcohol in general. So now there's sex toy bootlegging going on in 2024.
Yeah, so there is a company called Bad Dragon Enterprises and they make fantasy themed sex toys. And they are accusing the company Sin Saint of illegally copying their distinctive dilly designs and infringed on copyrights for products like Spritz the Sea Dragon and Tyson the Water Buffalo.
Oh, that's funny. Well, at least their dillies are like animals and they have some sort of lawsuit, I'm guessing. And it's not just like a lifelike phallus, because they'd be like, that vein is our vein. Like how do you copyright that?
Exactly. So Bad Dragon says that they've archived significant commercial success in the world of adult toys and accuses Sensei of selling duplicative dillies through their website and other trade channels.
All right, personal question. Have you utilized or had any experience with any of the products mentioned in said story?
No.
Okay.
But my girlfriend and I were having a conversation with these type of toys last night.
Yeah, so
because it's a whole genre.
Yeah, is there an appeal there to something that, of course, it's phallic based, but also like wrapped around in fantasy, right? Like it's a dragon dilly, so it looks like a dragon, but it's also has like the right size and measurements for you to be able to have fun with.
Well, the one we were specifically talking about last night and giggling about, because we're considered in polyamory unicorns.
Yes.
We were talking about the unicorn one, and it's basically this like rainbow that has this like braid on it.
Okay.
So, or that is made of this braid. So, you get some good texture in there.
Okay. Right. But then a very skinny tip, that'll work. I guess we can't go into details.
Yeah,
on
no,
that.
we can't.
But I am curious in case you couldn't tell. Like, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let me ask you this. If I put a pair of like bunny ears on my manhood, would that make it more appealing to the opposite sex?
Not to me. That's too much.
All right. What kind of ears would work for you? Elephant ears?
Oh, God.
Okay. All right. Well, that's a lot to live up to anyways. So, well, you get back to me on that. But excellent job of weird news. Well, let's hit the reset. We come back. We have another edition of Your F My Life. You still... There you go. We doubled up on some clips there. That was Let's Get Weirdo from this morning. We still have F My Life and music news that we'll probably share as well, because those were good segments. And we're going to be on here in about a minute 35 with a beef of the week, which is Steve-O and Bill Maher. And I don't know if you've been following this.
Oh, I had not heard about this.
It's a little interesting. So, but let me ask you this question randomly. What's something that's totally overpriced, but worth it. Now, there was a story today about how Dollar Tree is getting so expensive.
Oh, yeah. It's like $7 an item now.
Yeah, that's the average, right? And they're like, well, I might as well go to Walmart if I'm going to go to a shitty place that smells weird and spend a little bit more than I should. So that's the argument, and that sucks. We live in a world where Dollar Tree no longer is a thing.
Yeah.
And it's a multiple dollar tree, $100 tree. They're going to have to rebrand it at some point. Just to Walmart, I guess. But yeah, so what is something that is totally overpriced, but worth it? Like you're going to spend the money because you know it's worth it.
God. Like a bunch of things come to mind, like cars and stuff. Like my ex-sister-in-law, she bought a Tesla. And I was like, good for you, dude. She goes, it's about the same price as other cars that are fully stocked. I was like, that's insane.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can see that. You might save money on gas in the long run.
Right.
I'm not 100% on board with Tesla though. Tesla wasn't on there, or cars wasn't on this list. There was like kind of a number one answer as far as the most popular answer. So we'll reveal that, and I'll have you take another stab at this when we return from this break. But I want you guys to give a guess as well. So what do you think is something that's totally overpriced, but still totally worth it? Let me know in the comments, and we'll share those here in a moment as well. All right, let's get on the air. Rock 102.1 KFMA. That's Tim Montana with Devil You Know, new music on the station. Now, I have a running question that I'm asking on the podcast broadcast stream. If you want to weigh in, what is something that is overpriced but still totally worth it? I'll break down our list and reveal what the number one answer is on the YouTube stream, youtube.com/beefvegan. But first, it's time for Celebrity Beef of the Week. Our beef of the week today is Steve-O and Bill Maher. Bill Maher, of course, the host of Real Time on Max or HBO, whatever you want to call it, and Steve-O, legendary jackass stuntman, who has his own podcast. Now, Bill Maher actually recently asked Steve-O to be a guest on his podcast, which Steve-O happily accepted under one condition. And Steve-O shared this condition on his podcast just recently. I apologize to our streamers. They're not going to be able to hear this audio, but this is what Steve-O said as to why he had to say no to an appearance on Bill Maher's podcast. Yeah.
Okay.
Hard no. When it comes to this. Now, Bill Maher obviously hosts a show where he's not smoking pot, and that's Real Time. While he's going through debates, and he might be stoned before he goes on.
Right.
Because he probably just smokes like Snoop Dogg, like all day, every day, and he doesn't feel right when he's like sober, which is not great. But at the end of the day, when somebody asks you, hey, this is my only stipulation because I have a problem with drugs and alcohol, and any little bit, even marijuana, use around me could trigger and affect my sobriety. Could you not do that, please, for the 1 hour that we talk?
Yeah.
And he's like, absolutely not, man. My podcast is all about me smoking weed, and that's a stupid question.
Yeah. And
I'm like, dude, I feel like you stole that idea from me, first off. But what side would you be on? Steve-O or Bill Maher?
Like, I would be on Steve-O's, because getting sober, especially with how bad he was
bad,
like that, and to lay down that boundary and then hold it is really good. Now, granted, Bill Maher, it's his show, he can do whatever the hell he wants, but like, if you want to interview somebody, you gotta have that give and take. Sometimes you gotta meet halfway, for sure. I mean, obviously it didn't affect either men. They went on their way, and their careers are still exactly where it was before this situation arose. Right. And we just recently had a conversation about, somebody that kind of like works backstage with different writers and things for bands. And a lot, especially the ones that are like aging and they're now sober, are like, better not be a drop of alcohol anywhere in the green rooms, the dressing rooms, anything like that. Do not gift us alcohol, because it can be bad. Yeah. So, and I'm all about a sobriety success story. So yeah, and I love it, and I'm actually proud of Steve-O, and I've talked with him several times since he started becoming sober, and I remember the shock and the concern I had for Steve-O when I saw his DVD that he released called PCP Saved My Life. And this is a video that he shot Jackass style, where he was on a PCP binge. And you would think it would be so
outlandishly crazy that it'd be entertaining. No, it was one of the most disturbing videos that I've ever seen in my entire life. It stuck with me and it scared me. I thought Steve-O for sure was going to die, and if he didn't get sober, he would have. Now Steve-O says there's nothing he values more than his sobriety. Yeah. Here's another tidbit too that kind of adds to Team Steve-O on this, and also shows that I think Bill Maher was reaching out to Steve-O because he didn't really have too many options, or he didn't necessarily want to interview Steve-O if he wasn't high. And that's because he has respected guest boundaries before. If those boundaries are like hot and Bill Maher might want to bang them, because, Sheryl Crow had asked Bill Maher not to smoke weed around her when she appeared on Club Random. And he's like, Sheryl, you're still sexy. So yeah, no problem. I'll be sober.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Now Steve-O's not bangable to Bill Maher. And so he's like, no, man, you're ugly ass. I got to be stoned, but if there's a potential that I can get laid out of this, I'll put down the joint. So, I mean, Bill Maher's not looking great in this, to be honest with you.
No,
so I got to be Team Steve-O in the Celebrity Beef of the Week as well. So, but that's been the drama that was released recently here online and our Celebrity Beef. We're going to hit the reset and keep the conversation moving on the podcast broadcast. You can join us, youtube.com/beefvegan, and then if you do, ask this question or answer this question. What is something that is overpriced but still totally worth it? We're breaking that down on the podcast broadcast. Be back with more after music from Disturbed on Rock 102.1. Clear. Yeah, interesting stuff. All right, so back to our guesses here. So what is something that is completely overpriced but worth it? Let's see. Roadrunner season tickets. Okay. Yeah, I can see that. I don't know what the tickets cost, to be honest with you. I get there for free, but that's a benefit. And if you guys ever want to check out a game, we got games not this weekend, but next weekend. We'll be wrapping up the regular season, going into the playoffs. Now's the time to come out and show your support. So you can join Dave and everyone else at the Roadrunners game. Just hit me up. Let me know. I'll get you guys in. Let's see. Jeff said booze and smokes. Timing was terrible on that.
Yeah, it was.
Coffee. Coffee continues to get more and more expensive, but I don't think I'm going to stop spending money on coffee. So you might be right. And what was your guess again?
I said cars, but no, the more I think about it, like, especially like as I age and get older, like quality, like moisturizers and lotion. Cause like now that like I've learned how to like read products and what is in them and everything, like 90% of what's out there has rubbing alcohol in it.
Yeah.
It's awful.
Now, this didn't make the list here, but I think that's because it was asked amongst men and women, even though men should probably get into that game as well. I know The Rock is selling those products, and people ask me if I moisturize because I look so naturally young. And I just say, I just thank the DNA, baby. But here are the answers, or the top 10 on this list from Reddit. Coming in number 10, divorce.
Yeah.
Yes. And for many, it's super expensive, totally overpriced, but worth it. And the last chance, right? Or the last resort, I should say. A solid warm winter coat. This is obviously from people back east. We don't have to deal with that too much. Quality pots and pans. Yes. I agree with that.
Oh, yeah. No, we switched to cast iron skillets.
Cast iron's good, and I have a cast iron. I don't get to use it all the time because, you can't dishwash it, but I did in a pinch when I moved into a condo with me and my daughter. There was a lot of pots and pans I didn't have, right? Because I threw out my old ones and utilized my girlfriend's really nice set, and then I didn't have that set. So I'm like, I need an extra frying pan. So I picked one up at Fry's for like $7, dude, and it's already toast. Yeah. So you get what you pay for when it comes to pot and pans.
Yeah.
So that's for sure. And I said that on purpose, pot and pans. Premium wireless noise canceling headphones.
Yes.
Yeah, because if you get them cheap, then they're not canceling shit, and they're going to sound like shit.
Right, and they break within 2 months, and then you're just buying again and again and again.
Yep. Let's see. Dental care. Yeah, I could somewhat agree with that, but we do live close to Nogales, and I do know that you still can get some really good dental care in Mexico for a lot cheaper.
Yes, I've gone down there before, definitely.
Yeah, I need to go down there again for sure. Air conditioning. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's overpriced. It's going to cost a lot, but in the summertime, can you imagine not having air conditioning? And if you're just one of those people that have swamp coolers at your house, aren't you miserable every summer?
Yes.
Isn't it the worst?
That's what I grew up with. I have only been in central cooling for like 2 years.
Yeah.
And it is a game changer.
Yeah, it is, dude. Yeah, you were living like that your entire life?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we didn't have, we always used space heaters too. We didn't have central heating.
Brutal. Yeah, no, I mean, once you go to central air, you never go back.
No.
That's the only way to survive.
Yes.
Desert. Hiring movers. One person said they're worth their weight in gold, which is good. Save the hassle. A quality mattress, quality pillow, quality sofa. Now, I agree with all those.
Yeah, definitely. Especially, again, as we get older and everything, like, yes, the mattress is everything. Like, to the point where, like, when we've traveled, because I finally found, like, the mattress that's right for me.
Yeah.
I have the brand and everything. And then I started Googling what hotel chains basically have the same thing. And it's La Quinta. So, yeah, whenever we travel and go to a hotel, I always go to La Quinta.
Well,
then I take my pillow with me.
You could upgrade hotels for better bed experience because you already sleep on a La Quinta mattress.
I mean, well, we are getting a new one, though. It's on its way. I'm so excited.
Oh, is it going to be a Best Western? Well, the number one thing on this list that people are talking about, it's totally overpriced, but worth it. Good, comfortable shoes and socks.
Yes.
I think two of these things, the top two have something in common. They're everyday use, right? You need shoes and socks every day. You need a bed every single day. You spend at least 8 hours, assumingly, on that bed. So why would you make yourself miserable? In fact, actually, during my recent breakup, when we did split, I had the option of leaving my mattress and getting half of it paid for, like getting the money for it, or taking it and paying for half because it was under my name. And I flip-flopped back and forth. I finally settled on taking the mattress because I knew that, like I was going to have some like dark days ahead. But a nice, comfortable bed was going to make me at least sleep a little bit better and super comfortable. And the couple people I've dated since then all wanted to like move in just because of that bed. I was just like, oh, the bed's so comfortable. And I'm like, get out. No.
Well, and I'm somebody that like in the last 6 months have really looked at my foot health of like how it's affecting the rest of my body.
Yeah.
And it's insane once you do a lot of research on it and everything. And that's what I've been investing a lot of my money in the last 6 months is better shoes and definitely socks.
Yeah, because if you're going to be on your feet, for sure.
Right. And because if your toes are all compressed, your foot can't do its job, which then affects your ankles, your knees, your hips, the whole thing.
Yeah, that's why it's totally worth it, for sure. Yep. All right, so there you go. That's that list, and see if you're on their toilet paper for sure, too. You don't want any thin, crappy toilet paper, pun intended. Early this morning, we did... Let's see, we did Let's Get Weirdo. Our F My Lives for Killer today, in case you missed it, it went a little something like this.
Hot self-loving by your mom.
Awkward.
It is awkward. Did you do something that got you fired from your job?
I just get stupid.
It's fun being stupid.
Don't hide this in vain. Let us laugh at your pain. Call 600-KFMA right away.
I promise we won't embarrass you.
Because Beef Vegan presents F My Life. F My Life. F My Life.
Yes, it's time for another edition of Your F My Life. These are unfortunate situations. Email to us at beefvegan@kfma.com, subject line FML. But of course, if you have an F My Life you care to share on the air, and give us a call right now, 600-KFMA, 600-5362. Are you ready, Weirdo?
I am.
I got some doozies today. Sharon sent me this first email, and she said, last week I tried to tell a kid he couldn't skate without a helmet. He called me a Karen and pushed me into a fountain, so I called the cops. The cops arrived and questioned this kid, who said I deserved it for being a Karen. They accepted that and told me to stop harassing kids.
Whoa.
F My Life, what do you say?
God. That's an F My Life for sure.
See, that's funny that you say that because I'm literally thinking big baby because she was bugging this kid and kind of being a Karen, Sharon. I'm just saying, like, if you did not like harass a stranger, essentially, even though it was a minor, being concerned about this minor's well-being, it's not your minor. If it's your kid and say, don't skateboard without a helmet. Yeah, for sure. But it's a skater kid. First off, he's not going to listen to authority. And your name rhymes with Karen. That's not good either. So the cops just like, yeah. So I see why they didn't like press charges against this kid and they let him skate on his way.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. All right. This next F My Life sent to me by Joey. Joey said, I once took Chocolax to help lose some weight before I left for Miami. It turns out it doesn't happen right away like in the movies. It happens 6 hours later in front of your girlfriend's parents that you've met for the first time at a very upper class restaurant.
Ooh.
That's the worst place to go for sure. F My Life, what do you say? You know, honestly, though, upper class restaurant probably has some pretty nice bathrooms.
That is true.
And they probably spring for 3-ply. Which is probably nicer than the toilet paper you have at your home. So just silver lining there, Joey. I'm sure that you're probably not dating that girl anymore. All right. Next up, my life sent to me by Brandon. Brandon said I had to call the cops at 10:30 at night because of the meth smoke from my neighbor burning my nostrils with a heavy waft of cigarette covering it up. They never smoke cigarettes except in a less than average way to cover up the drugs that I could pinpoint after being at 2 different shelters. Ooh, rough life for Brandon all the way around. This is definitely Tucson living. Do you ever smell meth in the air in your neighborhood? Yeah? Grant and Alvernon? Yeah, go figure.
And even when I lived off Flowing Wells and Marana, it's just everywhere.
It's Arizona.
Yeah.
For sure, yeah. And a lot of people are like, what's that smell? I don't know what it is. Probably meth. Yeah.
If you can't identify it, just assume drugs.
Yeah, for sure. So F My Life?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. All right, 2 more left here. Crystal sent me this email, beefvegan@kfma.com. She said, today I told my boyfriend of 5 months that it's time to stop fighting for custody with his baby mama and start focusing more on my kids, whom he said he would take responsibility for. He responded by telling me to pack my things, saying we should all leave.
Wow.
That's deep.
That's super rough.
I'm very intrigued into what you would say in this situation.
Maybe don't date trashy dudes.
That's crazy that you're calling him a trashy dude.
No, she's trashy as well. I'm telling her, get out of it.
No, see, here's the thing, though. She's saying, hey, forget about your blood and worry about mine. You know, and being a parent, you got to realize that bond as to why he would fight for his kid.
Yeah.
Right?
That is true.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of selfish to be like, well, you know, you be the dad for my kids and tell me you have multiple dads for the multiple kids and you want this guy to raise your kids and be the surrogate father and forget about his own offspring.
Yeah, but why is it he's having to fight so hard for custody? Did the baby mama just really, really suck, or is he maybe not the best person?
Well, who knows? That's where it gets complicated, you know, because yes, there could be things that could be used against him, but it could also just be litigation and playing games. The system's not necessarily catered for the guy.
No, it's not.
Yeah. So I know, as I've been through as well, so complicated, but I just know like the audacity of Crystal. I am not going to say F My Life to you because you're literally saying, forget your own kids and worry about mine. And it's like, no, this is a package deal. And my kid is just as important as your kids, if anything.
Yeah, but even with my kind of reasonings at the beginning, like I'm still going to say big baby as well. Because again, sounds like you're not going for a great guy or again, the audacity.
I don't know. I mean, I think this guy drew the line appropriately saying, hey, you're telling me to give up on my kid, then you're out of here. Right. And just worry about your kids. Like who look at me. I'm putting myself in this situation.
And also they've been together for 5 months.
Oh, yeah,
5
dude.
months.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah. I mean, everything about this, the audacity of Crystal.
Hold on. The headline was buried in there.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you listening to the show, but you couldn't be more wrong in so many ways.
5 months.
5 months. And forget about your blood kid and raise mine because the father of mine took off. Or fathers, I'm assuming. Sorry, Crystal. Thank you for listening. All right, finally. Next up. Final Off My Life of the day. We'll end it on a lighter note, so I'm not so outraged. Amy sent me this, beefvegan@kfma.com. She said, I realized that I'm dating a 25-year-old man-child. He turns 13 when he sees my boobs, complete with big eyes and saying honk, honk whenever he touches them. That's my life. What do you say, weirdo?
No. No, big baby. My boyfriend does the same thing. Boobies. And he just stops. And I'm like, really?
I was about to say, do you want to tell her or should I? And like, it's not him. It's all men.
It's all awesome. Men. And some women too. I'm just saying, because I'll do the same thing to my girlfriend. I'm like, boobies.
And at least you have very honkable boobs, Amy.
Yeah.
I mean, at least they're not like, you know. All right, we're back. Rock 2.1 KFMA. That was Temple of the Dog with Hunger Strike. It looks like, of course, 420 is right around the corner. A lot of stoners like to celebrate. I didn't realize that marijuana tourism is a thing, and it's growing. There's more and more people going to destinations around 420 to have the ultimate weed vacation.
Well, when you used to hear that, it was, I'm going to Amsterdam.
Yes.
You don't have to do that anymore.
No. Well, I mean, if you still want good coffee shops and whatnot, we're still, catching up as far as the culture is concerned and having that. But, apparently, again, it's big business. And there was recently Airbnb along with Bud and Breakfast revealed data, vacation data for a marijuana-friendly site. Talking about marijuana-friendly lodgings. To find the best U.S. cities and states where recreational pot use is already legal, with the most weed-friendly rentals as well. Because when you're renting on Airbnb, it's somebody's house, obviously. So they'll have a bunch of rules. Well, there's cities out there like our own that would say, yeah, you can toke up inside the house, just you better not smoke those dirty cigarettes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right, so the most welcoming city shouldn't be a surprise. It's in Colorado. Could you guess which city it is?
Denver?
Nope. Boulder.
Which is just outside of Denver.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, it's kind of like a suburb. Right. It has the highest number of marijuana-friendly rentals with 104.3 per 100,000 residents.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. So lots of different weed spots. Now, 2 more Colorado cities make the top 10. Denver is there at 6, and Colorado Springs is 7. Okay. As for the least expensive 420-friendly accommodations, they can be found in Columbus, Ohio. Where lodging averages only $128 a night because they're like, hey, you're in Ohio, so we're not going to charge you. Thank you for coming to Ohio.
Right.
Well, what I don't get about marijuana tourism, though, is I don't know. Maybe I'm an antisocial smoker, but if I'm stoned, I'm not necessarily wanting to leave the rental per se. Now, you've been experimenting with gummies as of late.
Yes.
Yeah. So would you ever go on a marijuana vacation, and what would the destination be?
It would be something outside camping. Like, I don't know that I necessarily want to stay in a stranger's house while super high.
That sounds like a psilocybin vacation.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah. Now, there is an Arizona city that did make the top 10. And surprisingly, it was Scottsdale, Arizona. Yeah. With 46.5 houses per 100,000 that are marijuana friendly, according to this. Now, marijuana in Phoenix is obviously a big deal since we legalize it in the state. I know that if you guys drive into Phoenix, you probably smell marijuana as soon as you hit the city. And that's because they have all those grow areas, dude. They right do. There, downtown Indian Industrial, there's warehouses are full of like big $1 billion marijuana grow operations. Now I say billion, and that could be a stretch, but it's still so prominent that it's almost like a smell pollutant. I grew up a fan and advocate of marijuana, right? But I'm at a point where I'm driving in town and I'm a little offended.
You're like, calm down, stoners.
Yeah, dude. And you smell it, you can't escape it as soon as you walk in the city. And I know that residents in New York City have been having this problem because, of course, they're living on top of each other.
Right.
And so they just smell it nonstop. They can't escape it.
Yeah.
And so as much as you love it when you smell it periodically, imagine if you had to smell it, which essentially always is compared to one of two things, that of a skunk or that of baby poop, right?
Yeah.
Now, of course, as stoners, we enjoy that smell. But imagine if we can't escape that smell. Skunk and baby poop smell around us all the time, that would drive somebody mad.
Well, and there's also, the whole thing of like too much of a good thing is still too much.
Yes, I know. But that's the world we're living in. So, I mean, I hate to come off as anti because I'm not.
No, not at all.
I'm pro decriminalization and legalization all day long. But yeah, I mean, it does get ridiculous. And back to Amsterdam, the fun fact about Amsterdam and marijuana use amongst the citizens there, which has been known for years, is that they have decriminalized marijuana. And actually, the average marijuana usage amongst citizens in Amsterdam is lower than the rest of the world. That is because people in Amsterdam believe that people who do it all day, every day are junkies. They're no different than the crackhead that's sitting on the corner, right? And moderation was key. And it took them being able to have the ability to do it whenever they want to figure that out. And eventually, I feel like we're going to get to that point too. But right now, we're still in that honeymoon phase, if you will.
Oh, we are.
We got your beef tip coming up after these words. Keeping the conversation moving on the podcast broadcast, youtube.com/beefvegan. Clear. Yeah, dropping knowledge on you, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't surprise me, though.
No, it shouldn't be surprising to anybody except for Todd, who is always just like, what? How do you not smoke at all the time? Earlier this morning, Weirdo did music news. It was fantastic, and I was standing during it. So to check out a full body shot to myself for all the ladies out there, just kidding, don't hang up. Well, something like this. Check it out. You can tell by that sound that's time for music news. The Weirdo. What'd you got for us, Weirdo?
Well, there's been some lingering rumors that a tribute style incarnation of Linkin Park could be returning to the road this year with the involvement of some new metal kingpin surviving members.
Okay, so you're talking about the original members of Linkin Park. Mike Shinoda.
Yes.
You gotta have Mike Shinoda in this.
Of course.
And then anyone else, I guess. Don't know any of the other names except for Brad with the headphones.
Yeah.
But okay, so they're thinking of they're gonna replace Chester finally.
So that's the rumors, but nothing concrete had been announced so far. But enter Jay Gordon of Orgy to the chat. And in an interview on Monday, he's like, Linkin Park, very, very cool guys. Obviously, great band. They've been around a long time and they're still going for it. Right. And I heard they have a girl singer now.
Okay, well, Chester did have that range. So if they're going to put out new music, Linkin Park, and it's impossible to fill Chester's shoes, then the best way to do that is to incorporate a girl singer.
I think so. Yeah. That would be cool.
Yeah, who has like a wicked scream. And then that way, Linkin Park can still carry on, but it's a definitive new chapter.
Yeah, and it was one when I was like, first heard this rumor, I was like, this would be dope. But Jay Gordon did go on to say, don't quote me on that. Well, I'm not sure who the singer's going to be, but I heard it was going to be female.
I love how you just read his quote and then followed it up with another quote saying, don't quote me on that.
Yeah, exactly.
You just quoted him on that.
That's what he said. I'm quoting the quote.
Okay.
But Jay Gordon did have to clarify as of this morning with regards to this Linkin Park singer thing. I know nothing about any of that.
Right.
People sure do love to take my words out of context. And I'm like, Jay, bro, you literally said the words directly.
Yeah. In fact, actually, I guarantee you just got an angry text message from Mike Shinoda being like, bro, WTF.
Because either A, it's not true, or B, we haven't announced yet. Knock it off.
Yeah, man. And trust me, I know that Linkin Park's camp, as far as management, they get really mad about announcements when leaked early, because I did get yelled at and in trouble way back in the day. I inadvertently announced a nationwide concert an hour before I was supposed to.
Whoopsie.
Yeah. And somehow they found out on my little station and all hell broke out. So it is what it is.
But either way, in this like dream of being able to see Linkin Park continue on, I would be down for a female singer 100%.
Yeah, honestly.
And definitely make sure it's the right one, obviously. But I would totally accept that.
Yeah, I would hope that would happen too. That would be great. Linkin Park hits the road again before the end of 2024. In fact, actually, if there's any concert announcement involved in Linkin Park, you will hear it here first.
An hour early.
Yeah, like literally first. So just keep listening. It's a pro of listening to this show. All right, what else you got in music news?
Continuing on with, Live Nation and Ticketmaster and all these prices, 21 Pilots, they announced a concert last week and pre-sale happened yesterday and $200 for general admission.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Really?
And that's the initial price, right? And then some of the resales have already picked up and it's $8,000-$9,000. Like it's insane.
So I guess they just inflate the ticket based off per year that since they last released a good album. So you're
or the somebody posted to Twitter like, here is my $20 21 Pilots ticket from 2016.
No, I know.
It's insane.
It is insane. That means the industry got a hold of them, and I guarantee you it's not Josh and Tyler's call. They don't seem like dudes that are money grubbing, but if they're wrapped in the machine, they know.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Stupid,
one person on Twitter also pointed out like it's official 21 Pilots tickets for the pit are more expensive than the VIP backstage Fall Out Boy in 2018. But somebody else pointing out the fact that, yes, this is probably Ticketmaster over the band trying to do this.
Yeah. Back on here, I got Todd. Good morning, Todd.
Morning.
What's the matter?
I just played a really bad hand in Baltro. And I think I screwed my run.
Real quick, how do you pronounce that word? Because we're going to get into the beef tip, but I need you to pronounce that.
The one you had earlier, I don't even remember.
Authentication?
No. Authentication. Authenticated?
Authentication.
Authenticated.
I need you to say it on the air. Rock 102.1 KFMA. We got Tom Marley real quick to give us the proper pronunciation of the word that tripped me up at the beginning of the podcast broadcast.
The word beef was looking for was authenticated. Authenticated.
Authentication.
Authentication.
Yeah. It was the shun that messed me up. I would have got authenticated all day long. But that
except for you didn't.
Tion. I know. But, that's how we have you here. So, Tom Molly, thank you for that. I like to
do my job.
Yep. I like to thank everyone for listening to the show. Before we leave you, I want to give you a beef tip. Now, as you know, we're going to have an eclipse this week. All right. So, before you stare up at the sun without any protection, or if you picked up some solar eclipse glasses, here are 3 things to look out for to make sure those glasses aren't fake so you don't damage your vision forever. First, you're going to have to put them on indoors and look around. You should only be able to see very bright lights like a halogen bulb or an iPhone flashlight shine directly at you. Secondly, you're going to take them outside, but don't look at the sun yet. It should be too dark to see distant hills, trees, or even the ground. And finally, you're going to take a quick glance at the sun, just a quick glance, and it shouldn't hurt at all. But you should be able to look at the sun and see a bright, sharp-edged disc. And if it feels hard at all, stop immediately. You're ruining your eyes. Okay? So those are 3 things you need to do to test your eclipse glasses to ensure they're not fake and you don't burn your retina. All right, so have fun staring at the eclipse. You know what I'll be doing is I'll be inside. I'm not even going to look at it.
I will be camping.
Been there, done that. Oh, you're going to camp in the eclipse, huh?
Yep.
All right, that sounds like a freaky time. Well, excellent job as always, Weirdo. Thank you so much. Todd, thanks for popping in and educating us. Tomorrow morning, we'll continue to give away tickets for the Black Keys. Till then, Robin Nash is giving away tickets for Korn. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. Drive safe, ride safe, and as always, rock local. Later.
2-factor authentication. 2-factor authentication. Authentication.
If you've been mean or kind of bad, I will knock out all your teeth.